all be here if not for Jean and Bob. Mum and Dad were introduced by Jean and Bob. Mum decided to take up skiing, and she went up to Mount Buller by herself and did something to her ankle and was jumping around in the snow when she was befriended by Jean and Bob. And from then on it was sherries and laughter and so forth. And Johnny Walker. And talking to Mum today, she felt that she'd really found a kindred spirit and a great playmate in Jean. And she talks about how Jean is always available, you know, for a chat, a laugh. Always up for an adventure, usually the one suggested the adventure. And always got a great capacity for a laugh and to care about people and to be interested in what they're doing. Larger than life and a great personality, a force of nature, Jean. One memorable trip was when Jean and Mum went on a bushwalk up Mount Feathertop in the winter. And my sister Bron, who's down there, was in utero at the time. And they
Remember
were
it well.
on the Bonnecord Spur near the summit. And there were lots of laughs about that. But, you know, there was never anything but laughs with Mum and Jean. Mum also immediately noticed the tremendously loving, supportive and adoring relationship that Jean and Bob had together, and she envied all of the great adventures that they had. And so it was great when Mum and Dad were introduced by Bob and Jean at the Buller Lodge. And Mum and Dad immediately hit it off. Jean was a bit sceptical. That's another story. And everything fell into place after that. And Mum and Dad have been married for 51 years, and of course Bob and Jean were married for a lot longer than that. And the only real sort of small glitch in the relationship was when Jean stole Dad's gloves out of the drawing room in the Mount Buller Lodge, and he's happy to have them back any time. No. So, that's right. Yeah, it's on again. So Bob and Jean introduced our family to bushwalking, kayaking, skiing. We went to the prom, Hatter, Wiperfell. We had great trips. Bob carried most of the gear.
And me.
And most of the children on the trips. And we remember all of the great stories of their trips to the outback and the incredibly inappropriate tapes they played of Peter Cook and Dudley Moore to children under 10. And I remember the cashew nuts, they were very exciting, and the whiskey and all of the laughs. It was our main memory was just laughter from start to finish. In fact, my dad is still sighing, "Oh, Netta, get off the phone," as Mum is chuckling away with Jean. So Jean's gone from strength to strength since then. You know, even through the long illness of her beloved Bob, she remained a force of nature. She's been on great trips. She's got exciting international friends. She's got young friends. And she always looks and is absolutely fabulous. Mum tells the story of when I was little and Mum and Jean were talking and they said, "Oh, so-and-so doesn't look very good for 60. And I said, "What does 60 look like?" Well, Jean is 90 and this is not what 90 looks like. Jean is amazing, always stimulating to be with and a true friend to everybody here. So it's with great pride, therefore, that I would like to propose a toast to Jean. Where's your glass, Jean? There it is. There you are. I'll grab mine. So, absolutely. You can do whatever you like when you know. So, to Jean.
Yay!
Cheers. We'll have another toast after the next speech. Yeah.